nephew, what is he wearing now? He changed his clothes from Santa Claus clothes.
Okay, let me know what he's wearing.
Black clothes.
All black?
He's working on neighbor's stores.
Welcome back to Operation Evil. This is episode 143, Killer Santa. I'm your host, Nyoka. Before we jump into this case, I want to take a moment to welcome any new listeners, thank the ones who keep coming back, and let everyone know that I love and appreciate your support. I also want to wish a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you. Operation Evil is taking a break and will return in February. However, my Patreon and Buzzsprout Plus subscribers will still have their January exclusive bonus episodes, so no worries there. Lastly, I want to give a warning on this episode, because really all of our episodes should have a warning. But this one, it definitely contains some disturbing content, and I want to make sure to let you know that little ears probably shouldn't hear this episode. And as always, listener discretion is advised. On Christmas Eve 2008, armed with 4 guns, wearing a Santa suit, and carrying a fuel-spraying device wrapped like a present, 45-year-old Bruce Jeffrey Pardo showed up at the home at 11:30 p.m. as a party of about 25 people was underway. When he reached the home and knocked on the door, an 8-year-old girl answered. Pardo shot the little girl in the face and then began targeting his ex-wife's relatives while other guests attempted to flee to safety. According to Police Chief Kim Rainey, quote, "There's some information that he stood over them and shot them execution style." The shooter retreated to the front door and retrieved a device that mixed carbon dioxide with oxygen with high-octane racing fuel. The fleeing guests saw him spraying the fuel inside the house when the vapor was ignited, possibly by a pilot light or a candle, and exploded. The police chief said, quote, "Mr. Pardo was severely injured during that explosion. He suffered third-degree burns on both arms, and it also appears that the Santa Claus suit that he was wearing did melt onto his body," end quote. A 911 call comes in from a survivor of the shooting who was able to run and hide in a neighbor's house. Quote, "He's still shooting out there. He's shooting my whole family. My mom's house is on fire," end quote. The caller told the dispatcher that her name was Letitia, but her last name could not be heard through her sobs on the call. She said, quote, "I have a feeling I know who it is," end quote, and identified the shooter as her former brother-in-law. Meanwhile, back at the house, the plans Bruce had to flee afterward to Canada had changed. He really was planning on fleeing, even had airline tickets ready and $17,000 in cash on his body, some attached to his legs with plastic wrap. So now it's plan B, I guess. He got into his rental car and was able to drive to his brother's home where he would break in and shoot himself in the head. His brother discovered his body early the next day. But before his suicide, he used the remnants of the Santa suit to booby-trap his rental car to explode. He wired the suit so when it was lifted, it would pull a tripwire or a switch, ignite black powder, and he had several hundred rounds of handgun ammunition inside the car. The booby trap went off as detectives worked to disarm it, and luckily, no one was hurt. The aftermath of the fire was horrific. No bodies have been identified because of charring, but the police did say that they were all his former relatives. And the little girl who was shot in the face, the one who answered the door, By a miracle, she survived. Her 16-year-old female cousin has superficial injuries and also survived. The teen's mother was Bruce's ex-wife. Also injured was a woman who broke her ankle when jumping from a second-story window. After the fire was extinguished, officers found 3 charred bodies in the living room. Investigators found 5 more bodies later that day. Then a 9th body was discovered the day after that. However, we do find out that his ex-wife, Sylvia, was among those who died. Police found 2 handguns at Pardo's brother's house and 2 more in the Covina home. All were empty. When police searched Pardo's home, they found racing fuel and 5 empty boxes of high-powered handguns and shotguns. Police later said that Bruce likely planned to kill his own mother and his wife's divorce attorney as well before fleeing, but the burns from the fire changed everything. Police said that Bruce Jeffrey Pardo had no criminal record of violence. Neighbors and others who knew him said he was a friendly, cheerful, kind, and gentle man. He was also a volunteer usher at his church. So what triggered his murder spree? Court records show Pardo's ex-wife, 43-year-old Sylvia Pardo, filed for a dissolution of marriage on March 24, 2008. They were legally separated after about 2 years of marriage. The two reached a settlement on December 18th, and as part of that settlement, Bruce would owe her $10,000. Bruce also lost a dog he loved and didn't get back the valuable wedding ring. The settlement basically said that no counseling could help restore this marriage. There were just differences which have led to a complete breakdown of the marriage. And according to court records, Bruce had been employed at ITT Electronic Systems Radar Systems from February 2005 to July 2008. Bruce wrote in a legal declaration that he was laid off in July and he had been denied state unemployment payments in August. He said he was desperately seeking work with many companies. He wrote, quote, "I was not given a severance package from my last employer at termination, and I am not receiving any other income. I am desperately seeking work, and I have since applied to many companies, resulting in several job interviews. I ask for support just until I gain employment," end quote. He complained that Sylvia was living with her parents rent-free and had spent lavishly on a luxury car, gambling trips to Las Vegas, meals at fine restaurants, massages, and golf lessons. Divorce documents show Bruce got their house, which was valued at more than $500,000, but the couple only had $106,000 in equity in the home. The mortgage was $2,700 a month. He complained that he had a monthly expenses of $8,900 and ran short monthly by $2,678. In June, the court ordered Bruce to pay $1,785 a month in spousal support and put him on a payment plan of $450 a month for $3,570 that was unpaid. Because of all of this, he plotted to destroy his ex-wife's family. After Sylvia's death, one of her childhood best friends, Roxanne, found out about what happened. She first met Sylvia when they were 13 years old, and the two remained in touch into adulthood. Sylvia called Roxanne every day on her way home from work, and they would often go shopping together, get drinks, or have dinner. When Sylvia met Bruce, she was immediately smitten. She was attracted to his good looks, education, and good sense of humor. They would often go on double dates together. When Roxanne met Bruce, she found him charming and sweet. The couple's relationship progressed quickly, and they married in January 2006. But almost immediately after the wedding, things changed. Roxanne said Sylvia would call her distraught and would tell her how Bruce had become withdrawn and indifferent. He resisted opening joint bank accounts and insisted that they keep their money separately. He was no longer affectionate or attentive and seemed to expect Sylvia to provide for her 3 children from previous relationships without any help from him. According to Roxanne, the final straw was when Sylvia found tax papers that indicated her new husband had a son from a previous relationship that he never told her about. She confronted him and he denied it, so she called his mother, who told her that yes, Bruce had a son who was severely disabled after falling into a pool and almost drowning. His mother also said that Bruce was supposed to have been watching his son when the accident happened. Hearing all of this devastated Sylvia. Her dreams of having children with him completely dissolved. She told her husband that she wanted a divorce. He barely reacted and calmly moved her belongings to the curb and told her to move out. So she did. After Sylvia left her husband, the two talked less about him. Roxanne last saw Sylvia 4 days before her death and 2 days after her divorce was finalized. She said that Sylvia was looking forward to putting the divorce behind her and that they made plans to spend New Year's Eve together. Now we're going to fast forward 5 years. On December 25th, 2013, 5 years after the murders, the survivor who called 911 that night, Sylvia's sister, Letitia, became the family matriarch, maintaining family traditions and happier memories. A Christmas Day trip to church now is followed by a trip to the cemetery. Letitia and her husband also took in her sister's youngest daughter, her then 8-year-old daughter, who answered the door that night and was shot in the face. Letitia has worked hard to save Christmas for her kids. Now, at age 41, she has received years of therapy, but still suffers from anxiety and nightmares. She said, quote, "I lost my identity completely. I always used to tease them that I have 5 sets of parents, everyone telling me what to do and how to do it. I can't even tell you how much I miss them. Everywhere you turn, there are memories of what we used to have, and then memories of that night. You can't escape it. Christmas will always be there, and we continue to celebrate it. We have to keep moving in our everyday moments. There are these moments we think we've been through the worst, so this cannot break us," end quote. And that will do it for today's episode. If you can't get enough of Operation Evil, consider supporting the podcast by joining Patreon or Operation Evil Plus on Buzzsprout. When you join, not only will you have access to exclusive bonus episodes, but you will also get a shout out. Operation Evil currently has 49 exclusive bonus episodes ready for you to binge on. The links to join can always be found in our show notes. If you can't join our Patreon or Operation Evil Plus on Buzzsprout, consider supporting us for free by rating our show, telling a friend about our podcast, or like and share our Facebook page. I appreciate each and every one of you. We'll be back next time in the new year with a new episode. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening.